It's hard to say this, but Grand Peace Online is dying at the moment. Grand Peace Online will never die, but it is kind of dying. Most of the people playing the game right now are either farming dungeons for God knows how many hours. Foley did implement a way for everybody in the party to get fruits if you get to wave 50. However, it takes about an hour, if not longer, to get to wave 50. And that is not content. That is not fun. The wave system is actually really trash. It's just another way to get people to play the game mindlessly for hours. I actually don't agree with that form of content at all. And the fact that a feature like this is only being implemented into dungeons now, when it's something that should have been added since the start of the dungeon system, means the devs know what's going on with GPO. And the other half of the player base is AFK trading inside of the Trade Hub server. Literally, Grand Peace Online is a fruit farming simulator at this point, and a trading simulator at this point. But that is not the point of this video. Now, Grand Peace Online's player base is starting to get fed up with all the stuff that the dev team is not bringing out there. Because if you think about it, we have been misled for years now. We've been promised clothing, marine updates. We've been promised new game modes. We've been promised Cyborg, the new race. For how long ago did we get hinted at Cyborg? Did we get promised Cyborg? It's been almost over a year. I'm pretty sure it has been over a year. It's actually just not, it's not good. It's not good to withhold content. It's not good to falsely promise your player base something and not deliver it. Now, again, deving isn't easy and they might have run into many problems along the way. But at the same time, Grand Peace Online's dev team is talented. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of things they have done or that they are withholding from the player base that they're planning on bringing out at a later date. But if we have to wait 9-10 months for an update, what's the point in waiting 9-10 months for a week's worth of content? Now, update 4 did a lot of damage to the game. Update 4 was probably the worst update we've ever received for Grand Peace Online. It did bring in some good features, Kraken, 2-sword style, Hockey V2, but that's about it. I won't lie, that is genuinely about it. Alabaster was a big waste of time. It was a big island and it was big for no reason. The content within Alabaster was non-existent. The only thing was the crocodile boss and the crab boss, and that is literally about it. Everything else was just irrelevant. The island was big for a reason though, and the reason the island was huge was so you could buy Karoo and traverse the island with Karoos. The first problem with Karoos is that they had a stamina bar that went down way too quickly. Very, very bad. And the second problem with Karoos is that they were locked behind Robux. Fair enough, it was pretty cheap, 100 Robux. However, Robux is still Robux. Something that's kind of needed to traverse Alabaster in the most convenient way possible, being locked behind Robux, is probably not the smartest way to go about it. Because if you didn't have Pika or Mara, you literally had to run through or Geppo through the city. The city is pretty big and it got tedious after very quickly. Not only that, update 4 did display how lazy the dev team could get with Karoo Racing. Karoo Racing was, well, I don't even have words for how poorly designed Karoo Racing was. It was literally just a big circle, dome, spear, racing thing with some rocks planted in the middle, and you had to run through that. Whoever got first, I'm pretty sure there was a chance of getting devil fruits for it, and you got a hat and you got some EXP. Very poorly designed, very poorly made. I'm pretty sure it was just thrown there last minute. Nobody ever used it. Like, nobody ever used it. Moving on from the failure that was update 4, update 5. Now, update 5 was really actually good. I'm probably one of the people that enjoyed playing update 5 on its release. However, update 5 was only better than update 4. And that isn't necessarily a good thing. It was a step above what we got for update 4, but it wasn't enough content for the time frame we had to wait for it. Now, if I am correct, we had to wait over 9 months for update, not over 9 months, over 8 months for update 5, and the content was actually pretty good. The bosses were good. The boss rotation was pretty satisfying. We got Brook, but that's about it. That's all we got actually. A new island and some bosses. That is update 5's whole entirety. Obviously, we got some fruits. But fruits is a part of the Grand Peace Online rotation, universe. Every single update we get new fruits. So it's expected that we get new fruits. What is not expected is us getting bad content. Every update should bring a vast majority of fun and playable content. Even if it's not fun, it should still be playable to an extent to keep players engaged and hooked. Farming bosses with 1,000,000 health to get a 1% drop chance at item that isn't even game changing isn't fun, and the player base is starting to understand that. Now, GPO isn't necessarily gonna die, in my opinion. They can easily fix the problems that we have with the game. All they need to do is actually add playable content. Now, in terms of things we weren't given, the Battle Royale was something that was hinted at by FOU and we never received. But if the Grand Peace Online dev team does decide to go through with the Battle Royale, I genuinely think it could save the game. Now, all they need to do is actually make the Battle Royale playable, balanced, and fun, and give players an incentive to actually want to play the Battle Royale mode. You can't just throw a Battle Royale mode in the game and say, hey guys, go play it, and people are gonna play it. People will play it for the first week, but if there's no real incentive to play it, people are gonna drop it really quick. If you make that the funnest way to get fruits, then people will definitely play it. Maybe if you finish in the top 3, you get a chance at a Logia or a legendary and higher. It would make sense. It would be fun, and if they added 2 or 3 map rotations and a decent gameplay, I think that could really boost Grand Peace Online's player base. As well as that, adding themed dungeons for every update. And now when I say dungeons, I don't mean kill mobs and move to the next zone. I mean make it actually interesting. Zelda elements, parkour elements, puzzles that we need to complete in order to move on to the next zone and actually have fun playing the game. And it would be themed or suited towards that update. And if you do that every update, the player base might actually start to F with the game again and come back slowly. Just a quick disclaimer before we end the video. For you, I'm not going to lie, the GPO coins for $50 was a stretch. You didn't need to do that, like at all. It's so unnecessary. Anyways, I'm gonna see y'all boys in the next one. Peace. Now you might be thinking, Agz, you said all of this, but what can really be done to help Grand Peace Online? Now the first thing is actually changing up the formula. Every single update, we gain about 75 to over 100 levels. The level cap increase. But with that, the only thing we get is there's a new island, and then there's a quest that we repeatedly farm until we're max level. And that gets tedious, especially if you don't have ×2 EXP. Why is it so hard to add a, I don't know, maybe a story format to the island? Let's just say update 6 was Impel Down based off Anchor's video. It would be nice if we had a story type of questing system with Impel Down. With the story, as you progress, it leads your level up every stage of Impel Down. By the time you get to the bottom, you would be at the max level in order to take on whatever bosses are at the bottom of Impel Down. But as you progressively go down, the stories through the quests actually get interesting, and it's not just, hey, defeat 10 of these mobs and doing that literally 100 times in order for you to reach max level. Be creative. Let's have fun with the game, please. It's not that hard.